Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So just gonna go once again straight into it, at least for this broadcast, to help accelerate this process of, this is of course one, starting off with the introductions. Your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen. This evening edition of Fire and Liberty, very excellent, brand new, evanescent edition of this broadcast. Specifically about not only the advancement of, which is a very, very positive thing, continued acceleration of not only one, the inner potential, which is, of course, for example, me as an example, my inner potential, my inner growth, for example, inner spiritual ascension per se, if we want to use the ascension term, and development, of course, the limitlessness of what can be expansive into the realms which we create, not only as, well into a type 5000 civilization and beyond, but of course the kind of understandings and breakthroughs that we can not only say now, since we're already limitless, and per se already have, for example, a limitless view into the future, as for example a 5000 plus civilization, 5172, a type 5172 civilization. Which of course is definitely a lot of energy. And it's very, very amazing, of course, because that, of course, is the essence of a sort of free will ability. And what I mean by that is, it opens our minds in general, the planet Earth's minds, for example, in general, and just consciousness minds in general about awareness. And so what we can enter in and, of course, continue to do is a multidimensionality, and we can experience our own multidimensionality, of course, here in the physical. Now, what's very magical to witness, of course, is this essence of course, this majesty of creation in the form of not only psychic abilities and psychic presence, but of course, just evanescent beauty and connection. So what is going on, for example, big picture and described in 3D terms, translating this light language, is we got a lot of things going on, which is really, really good. And I've been speaking real fast, so I'm going to slow it down a little bit for this part. So bear with me. So each planet has millions. Well, this planet has a very large population per se of life and sentient beings. So 5 billion. Okay, let's say they're surrounding 5,000 planets. All have 5 billion beings, and let's say they're all humanoid and are the same. Hypothetically speaking, have the same consciousness as us. This consciousness, awareness, elevation per se, or just okay. Let's talk about the awareness before we talk about the elevation. This awareness is the mind of all those beings, all those planets, 5,000 planets. For example, each with 4 billion sentient beings on each planet. That is the awareness of, for example, of us, of us. And there's so many ways to say, of us, of our multitude, of our unity, of our unit, of our actually, I don't want to use the conglomerate, because the ICC, not that it has a negative connotation, but it's more of it's a transition in workings, meaning it's happening now, because once again we're making this as fast as rapidly possible. And what I mean by we, I would say responsibility lies within. So I would say I'm responsible to make sure that we have this, for example, at the very, very least, which is just a physical. And I'm not gonna lie, I would actually never mind. I'm not even gonna mention the egoic attraction. Egoic attraction of the reason to have ICC, totally revealed in full disclosure, which is because of the craft. The craft, those forms of transportation, just absolutely amazing. And of course, to be able to go from planet to planet to planet to planet to planet to planet, not only in astral but actually in the physical, would be very, very, very appealing. And of course, once again, we are making discoveries which have already been discovered and are already known, not only innately but of course throughout the universe. And that's kind of how universal light works. For one, or no pun intended, but for one, universal, which is so weird to phrase it like this, but it's so true. Universal awareness and creation and positivity and advancement and unity and etc. The creational potential is constantly available and aware in bear with me when I explain this about consciousness. So I've already described how plasma energy is what makes up the sun, and of course how consciousness is an impact on that. So benevolence has a certain balance factor, not just throughout for example, the desire for freedom, for example, is a very good future reality, for example, to anchor in this reality, for example. So the universe will change into that because, for example, that reality that exists on planet Earth is attractive to other planets, especially the planets that are developing, meaning, for example, the fast pace that we took to get to where we are, for example, 50,000 years of progress in 80 years, 90 years, is tremendous. And of course, many planets want to and are, for example, mimicking that, meaning they're also ascending, for example, at those rates, planetary consciousness. Of course. Multitasking right now, multitasking thoughts, telepathy going on. Anyway, it's been sorted out and taken care of, not only is like future, anyway. So ICC is like, for example, a small view of just how we can create, and ultimately how we can create. It's a parallel timeline that's also existing, but there's multiple. For example, our multidimensionality includes being aware of multiple timelines of our own of our own multidimensionality in our own awareness per se. So regardless, which is why, for example, we're always positive and always blissful and always able to be precognitive, is because the tremendous amount of shift and change that we've done so far is once again just a... Goodness gracious, I was not expecting to do that tonight. I really was, but I'm going to. A certain taste I need to taste. Goodness gracious, can't believe I'm saying this out loud on air. Anyway, there's a lot of double tasking. What I mean by that is, so we already have something set up straight with let's just the whole biological one, the whole physical and the whole physics, and the whole emotional does have a part, and energy understanding. It's one thing to say, which is the truth, that it's changing and it's updating, because that's true. But the thing is, it already exists. So why? And this is what anyway. I've said this so many times on broadcasts. I don't want to be the guy that said it tonight, toe to toe. I don't want to be the guy that says I told you so, but I constantly am the guy who says I told you so. And, I just plow through in a positive way, because that's how benevolence light working works. You just create massive waves of light, because it's not just being supported by, the physical 3D realities. It's being supported on multidimensional levels, 6th, 9th, 12th, 18th, and, 32nd density, 32nd dimensional reality, for example, beings. So it's tremendous. There's a tremendous amount of coherence and positivity and the benevolence factor that's going on. So it's like, I use this example, and I'm being really frank and kind of brisk in these explanations, just for honestly, just for my own sake, just to crystallize a whole lot of info. And it is for the sake of humanity and for this planet. Gaia definitely deserves to be Nova, so this is why we work and ascend and help and assist Gaia. So, jeez. No. So, yeah, physics. So, why? And here's a rhetorical question. Why understand and even spend time? Bear with me, but and I mean this in a very positive and respectful way. But why bother spending a lot of time learning this new age of physics when the real physics, that we're plasma beings and etc. The real physics is what we should learn and what we should be involved in. The real quantum energy, that's what we should really know. Quantum physics or fractal physics, etc. The real way that the universe works. So, once again, lots of new things being revealed, lots of new projects, once again, massive levels of creativity and how we interact with nature. And that's going to be huge, alright? So, we have, okay, let's just go the whole baseline. Let's just start off with the baseline. There's completely new ways in general, and that is now just not only lifestyles, but compounds upon compounds of lifestyles and interactions that we have in environments. I crystallize a massive plethora of culture right there. Huge, massive plethora of culture, not just culture of what is being developed into, and not just culture as the potential, but culture as it is. Massive changes in how we view our interactions and how we experience our interactions with plant life. Once again, our communication, and it's very huge, because the vibrancy, it is something that, excuse me, I'm speaking multiple languages at once. English. It's the language I want to speak right now. So, and I already mentioned this before, and I really don't want to go back and micromanage that stuff. It's amazing that I can just, plant seeds, then have a leader or guardian for that seed. And that's what guardian is. That's why, for example, anyway. So we got this. We got interactions by our light codes. Are light codes for plants. For example, those light codes are absorbed in photosynthesis. The photosynthesis is absorbing those cells. The cells absorb the light codes of our DNA. So therefore, that DNA light code is encoded in plant life, plant genome, etc. DNA that allows plants to communicate with each other because they are already in oneness. All plant life is. They're already in oneness with one another, and then, all that information is stored in plant life, and it's always there. So, plant life, once again, going back to tree touching, for example, and even just, what I have right now, which is actually, anyway, I tried something different, once again, in enhancing this sort of culture thing. Very, very interesting. Very magical. So, wow. Important key thing to know is the just the heaven essence that exists, and just the pure communication that's it, just with simple contact. It's huge, and that's why massive shifts are happening. So once again, for example, there is no time. All right, there's never been time. There's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as time. So contact, for example, with, and here's the thing, there's so many, we're going to continuously, and I said we're going to, but we continuously are present and aware of our presence on every planet, and how our curvature, for example, works, and this is one explanation. Our curvature works is a curvature, for example, of a presence. So take a sphere, a massive sphere, and put it directly upon this curvature of the Earth. And that perfect sphere will somehow, or not somehow, is, aligned with a certain point contact on planets that have, that set curvature. So each planet is, kind of, for example, has that glow. For example, imagine this glowing sphere. And that glowing sphere, because of that presence, is your presence. And that could be a plasma, for example, plasma entity right there. And that is, the awareness of how that omnidirectional omniscience is cognizant of what is going on. See, and there are so many more ways to live. We are so unlimited. We're so unlimited, alright? We are so unlimited. It is very, very important to hype that, and to really make that very, very important. We're so much more than just, of course, beyond this planet. And that's what we're also discovering, we're incredibly powerful. So, important thing is, I can't believe I might actually no, I'm not. So, important thing is, once again, multitasking. There's gonna be multiple phases of, and it's gonna be. Here's the amazing thing: it's not gonna be not known, but it's not going to be not known. So, definitely continuous structure buildings of our own elevation. Definitely continued unity with our continued multi-directional creational aspects, as in building and willpower and divine will, and etc. And of course, increase with the consciousness, awareness of who we are, and of course, increase just light, love, power, light, love, and being existence throughout the universe. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, creative being for this planet, creative being for this universe, universal creator, being of light, being of love, a guardian of angel, guardian of light, violet flame holder, violet flame igniter, presence, and violet flame being of violet flame. VIOLET flame. Ambassador for planet Earth, ambassador for the galaxy, and for the universe. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen. On this evening edition of Fire for Liberty, only love is real, and I love you all. I'm going to come up with something catchier as well. To sign off, a little signature thing, but I do really love. So, this is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, this evening edition of Fire for Liberty. Speed of light squared is speed of love squared is the speed of heart. I love you all.